Okay, welcome back to the weekly update. We've had an abundance of emails and WhatsApps and LinkedIn messages in the last week, and a lot of them have the same sort of theme. So those of you who know us and know me and know the channels and the work that we do, in the executive search space, we typically work with the senior end of lawyers, partners, general counsels, and that kind of thing. So where there's a theme in the past week has been talking to people at the partner director level, and a little bit of, I suppose, dismay really at the need, the absolute need for a book of business that is extremely profitable. It is something that every single law firm is asking for when they're looking to hire. That may sound like a reasonable request, but it isn't always possible in every single practice area. It isn't always a reasonable request with every single lawyer, and it's almost like trying to buy money almost. I'm actually working on a research piece at the moment for our Substack, which I'm hopefully going to finish in the next week or so, that is entitled "Buying Money," and it's really looking at a systematic breakdown of a partner's book of business. It's going to be very, very useful for partners and directors who are looking to value their book. In there, I'm looking at ways that you can value your client base, the transferability of certain clients in certain industries, and that kind of thing. And it really is. It's not market dependent. It's going to be relevant for South Africans and anybody across any of the African nations in which we work. And it's really important that lawyers and the senior lawyers have that chance, those tools to really look at how to value their client base and how transferable it is, because that has a direct impact on their value within the marketplace. So yeah, I've really been inundated with questions and requests of why is it that firms won't necessarily look at my past experience? They don't necessarily value the technical side of things from the word go. They want to know how much I've billed in the last 12 months. They want to know how much I'm going to bill in the next 12 months. And that's very short term, and there's a lot of complaints out there. Well, like I say, we have the tools to help you value that, but it is a problem. It is a real problem. It's something that I'm working quite hard with a lot of the law firms that we work with to try and look past and look at ways that one can be supported, and we can look more medium and longer term, and by using past experiences, not just the past year, but how they got there and what tools they need to get back to those big earning spaces. So look, it's a problem in the marketplace, in all marketplaces, and it's something that we're working on, and we're working tirelessly with the law firms as well to make sure that they can look more medium and longer term. I got another request actually yesterday, in fact, from a lawyer overseas looking to return to one of the African nations where she's originally from. Now, the question. There's clearly a desire to move back and be, and work back in the markets over here. But the question really, it struck me as something I'm actually often asked, but it's quite a broad question. And this particular person said, "How's the market over there?" Meaning, how's the job market for lawyers, for senior lawyers? And I thought, well, as I'm recording this today, I thought, well, I'll include it because it's a question I get asked quite a lot. And it's so broad. It's almost like, without being facetious and a bit rude, I wanted to go back and, well, which bit of it do you want me to talk about? Because it's so broad, it's so diverse. It depends on which city you're going to, which country you're going to, which practice area you're working in, what type of firm you'll look at. Is it international, big, local, medium or small? Are you looking at contracting, fractional work? What in-house, what are you looking for? And each one of those has, legal tech. Each one of those has a different answer. And obviously I could have spent 4 hours emailing back this person a full rundown of the marketplace. But in fact, what I did is suggest that she log on to this video that's coming up today. So I mean, again, without wanting to go into too much detail, it really depends. There is a lot of work out there. There's a lot of opportunities. We are hunting and hustling for opportunities for African lawyers all the time across different markets, in different sized firms and in different sized corporates. We have a very good handle on a market. You name a country, I'll tell you what's going on. I'll tell you about the salaries and the packages that are available. We really are that well researched across the entire African continent. However, maybe when you are approaching myself or one of my colleagues in the future, be really specific. And that goes for everybody as well. That goes for any recruiter that you might reach out to. If you're looking at how's the market, should I be coming back? Is there opportunities? Try to be really specific about what you're looking for. Or, and that, you know, in the end, perhaps pick up the phone and let's have a chat and let's talk through it for half an hour. And by the end of that half an hour, you'll be really, really well versed in each country, each practice area, each type of firm, each corporate, etc. Now, yesterday, I've been talking about it for a long time, but yesterday we launched the Champions Mindset, and it was a phenomenal morning. It was a morning spent with the IBF World Champion, Sive Nontshinga, and his coach, trainer, and manager, Colin. Phenomenal South Africans, phenomenal sportsmen at the top of their game. And it's the type of event where we really, I mean, it's a small crowd, you know, mainly made up of people from GRM, and it's a real opportunity to talk to people at the top of their game in a different space. It's something that I really value. I think we can learn a lot in business and in life from sportsmen and women who are really at the top of their game. And as I've said 100 times, you know, we can all pay for an event where we can go and speak to someone who's, you know, used to be you know, now a retired rugby player or footballer or whatever it is, who can talk about the big match that they won or when they won the World Cup. But that's not always really relevant to what we're doing. And the Champions Mindset is really, really focusing on people's wellness and people's mindset and how to get out of dark times, how to capitalize on good times. And we've really spent a lot of time with those two gentlemen talking about preparation, attitude, commitment, mental toughness, resilience, and then preparing for the future. They were the core areas we talked about. And it's, you know, now more than ever, we're seeing, certainly in the law space, that mental wellness is an issue. It really is, and it's not to be ignored. It shouldn't be just coming around once a year when you know, we put hashtags all over social media. It's something that needs to be looked at. There is more and more pressure on senior lawyers, well, lawyers at all levels, but the senior lawyers that we're working with to continuously drive revenue, to continuously grow practice areas. And I think it's something that we really need to focus on. So for us, we've got this new series. We won't be doing it all the time because we have to pick sports people that we can reach and that have a, you know, sit in that world of you know, being at the top of their game, but also being able to share their stories and their tips for you know, for running businesses or running their own careers, and what to do in the future and how to prepare for that. So it's something that we're very proud of. The session yesterday went extremely well. We did film it. We will be editing it into a training session, and it will go up on our Podia platform, where we'll put the links below. It will be a couple of weeks before that's ready, but it will be a proper course. There was a very structured Q&A session. We have a workbook that people can work through, and I know that we were supposed to be doing it over an hour, and it ended up being 3 hours long, which is a sign of how positive it was taken, how good it was, and how good our guests Colin and Sive were. So keep an eye out for that, and that is something that we're extremely proud of. And finally, we have 6 weeks to go until the University of Johannesburg's Anti-Corruption Summit at the UJ campus in Johannesburg. It is turning out to be an absolutely phenomenal event. We're really blown away by the panelists we've managed to secure, how quickly they wanted to get involved, how they're giving up their time over the 2 days. It's going to be phenomenal. There's 55 panelists, CEOs and leaders, and strategists of the biggest brands, not just in South Africa, but across the world as well. You can go to the link below and you can see the firms that are involved. We've been welcoming new sponsors, big sponsors on as well. There's so much happening at this event, but it's really, really important that we get everybody who can be there 2 days.